Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Korok Seed Master Mode Challenge. Today, as we progress through in our adventure, we will be conquering and collecting another 20 Korok seeds, and in a place where the weather is going to be a little bit more favorable than it has been in the past few episodes. We are just about at the halfway point through this adventure, so if you're enjoying this series, please feel free to drop a like on the video, and don't forget to subscribe for more daily content. So without further ado, let's jump into the seeds in today's video. Seed number 421 is the first one we're going to be looking out for today, and it is a little acorn that's located up in the branches of a tree that you've got to shoot out. Of course, with those acorns, you can destroy them in a couple of different ways. This one's easy to shoot, or that's the best way to get that one collected. Seed number 422 is a set of fairy lights that runs around this little swampland area. The difference between some sets of fairy lights is some of them will move constantly where others will pause. That one pauses, and so you can get a decent idea of the trajectory that it's on. Seed number 423 is a pretty simple little magnesis puzzle. There was a very rude Lizalfo that poked me in the back as I was conquering it, so he was promptly dealt with after collecting this seed from the well that we dropped the magnesis ball into. Moving right along to seed number 424, we've got ourselves another apple tree puzzle. And this one's got the exact same pattern as every other apple tree, which is interesting to me because I've seen that not all trees generate with apples on them in the exact same way. So I know it would be possible to match them up with some different patterns. So hopefully that's something that can be implemented in the sequel. Seed number 425 is another set of fairy lights, and to be honest, these fairy lights are a lot easier to track down at night or under cover of rain because they light up a lot better and are a lot more distinguishable. You can still find them when it's during the day, it just gets a little bit more difficult. Seed number 426 is this boulder on top of a couple of rocks with a smaller stone underneath it. And though the website recommends that you use stasis to roll the boulder off, I wanted to showcase that you don't need to waste that durability on your tools. You push it in just the right way and you can get the boulder on top to roll off and free up the stone on the underside to claim your reward from this location. And of course, we've got to drop the rock back down on top of his head to provide him a little more protection here. Seed number 427 is a bramble bush that needs to be burned out in order to gain access to the little pedestal on the rock that's sitting on top of it. You don't have to glide up top here, but I found it a little bit nicer to get in there easier. And if you're a little more attenuated to it, you can get down before the brambles burn out and collect the seed a little bit sooner. Also, as a side note, this little forest area where this seed is located has a lot of really nice stuff in it. It has hardy mushrooms, endura shrooms, stamella shrooms. There's a lot of really good resources scattered throughout that forest, so make sure you do some exploring to collect that stuff there. The next seed is a rock underneath a bridge, so we'll collect that one and move right on along to the following seed, which is on the other side of the river here. And that is going to be a Korok pattern puzzle that is located within this little forest glen here. And the nice thing is despite the fact that there are some bokoblins mounted on horses that ride around, they don't seem to mess with you when you're under cover of trees because their horses don't fit in it as well. So you can take them out to be extra safe, but you don't have to if you don't want/need to. Seed number 430 is an interesting combination between a pattern puzzle and a magnesis style puzzle where there's a pattern that's clearly defined over on the structure on the left. There's not a really flatteringly good camera angle, but the seed or the rock you need is over in that building, which you can then walk over into the adjoining pattern and drop it into the proper location to collect the seed. Seed number 431 is another pattern puzzle. This one is a circle that you just want to make sure you drop the rock into. Be cautious because there are a couple of bears in this little glen, and bears are territorial and not very fun to deal with. Seed number 432 is a balloon that's up in the branches of this tree. I thought that maybe I could land in it, but apparently the balloon keeps you from getting up into the branches of that tree until you've shot it out. And that's all you've really got to do in order to collect the seed from this spot. But taking a quick little detour, we actually had a star fragment fall out of the sky, and it's always nice to take a brief detour and collect these as they're highly valuable. They're good potion ingredients. They can be sold at a high price. A lot of really good stuff comes of this, so it's always cool and nice to see the star fragments fall out of the sky and then to go and collect them, as they light up very uniquely and they're kind of hard to miss if you notice them. Seed number 433 is it's kind of a hybrid of some Hyro curling. You just want to make sure you have a Cryonis block to assist in getting the rock into the proper spot, which is a little frustrating, but you can get it after a try or two. Seed number 434 is, I think, one of my favorites in the entire game because it's reliant on shield surfing. And this is actually the shield surfing tutorial area if you aren't already familiar with that mechanic. The guy down at the base of the tree will teach you that technique, and then you need to employ that technique in order to make your way down this hill and collect the Korok seed from the puzzle there. A nice little skid animation there from Link as he corrects and doubles back. And because I was using the Shield of the Mind Eye, which is a little bit quicker than some other shields you can use for shield surfing, I got down here in more than sufficient time to make that course correction. Seed number 435, on the other hand, is a set of fairy lights that runs around the little pool here at the very base of where you completed that time trial, so you can collect that seed very easily as well. Seed number 436 is a magnesis puzzle, and this one is positioned a little bit in a hard-to-reach spot, but there's plenty of range on your magnesis rune in order to get the block into the spot that you need it. I was just pushing against the clock here because that choo-choo was encroaching on my territory and making me feel a little bit uncomfortable, but we got it relatively easily and can progress on to collect seed number 437, which is a short glide back in the other direction off the top of the hill where you meet the shield surfing tutorial guy. And there's just a ring of lily pads you'll want to either glide into or swim or jump off of a Cryonis block into, whichever finds it easier. Seed number 438 is another time trial where you've got to go from one mountain peak to the other. And I found it a little bit easier to go ahead and use that whistle running glitch and get there a little bit quicker, as the timer was ticking down a little bit faster than I would have liked it to, especially with just how far you do end up having to run. So upon executing the whistle run there, we do grab this seed without too much difficulty. Seed number 439 is another time trial puzzle, and this one you don't have to do shield surfing. As you can see, the timer is pretty forgiving here, but it is certainly the fastest way to reach this puzzle, and because it's a grassy area, you can do so relatively quickly without really worrying about taking too much damage on your shield in completing the time trial. And the last seed that we're grabbing today is seed 440, which is going to be this little guy under a rock here on our way up to the Gorons, because that's where we're headed out next. But that is going to do it for today's video, so if you enjoyed this episode, again, feel free to leave a like on the video, and don't forget to subscribe for more daily content, as there are videos coming from several different games every single day. So thanks again for watching, and I hope that you have an absolutely fantastic rest of your day.